I am using the mini catalog from January through April as a inspiration for my next layout. I'm not allowed to show you the inside of this catalog yet, but if you have it, it's on page 44. This is an 8 by 12 piece of paper, and I creased it down the middle, creating that 6 by 8. I then took a 4 by 12 piece of paper strip, and I creased that every 3 inches. And I went back and forth. So I kind of did, you know how we all made those accordions growing up. So I kind of accordioned it. I took a piece of DSP. I put adhesive around these 2 edges so this side is open. And I just cut a tag. Actually, if you saw my previous videos, I cut this out of Glacier and I ended up not using it. So I'm using it on this one. So I have my twine up here, cut that tag out of Glacier. And then that just slides right in here. And I could do journaling. I could put a number on it. I don't know what number this is going to be yet, so I'm not going to add the number. But there's multiple things I could do to this, or I could just put an embellishment in there. Like if I just wanted to bring in some red or something along those lines, I could definitely do that. This little accordion that I made will then go inside of this large card, if you will, and accordion out. So I would glue that back piece on, and then it can accordion out this way, and I could have pictures or embellishments there. I am going to repeat that process and make another accordion. I think it would be cool. This is going away from the sketch, but I thought it'd be neat to do another accordion going across this way and have it spread all the way across. So lots of photo opportunities. If I don't have that many photos, lots of embellishment opportunities. This is a super old tool here. It just creases your paper, so it doesn't actually have a blade on it. So for this one, I am going to cut every 3 inches. So it's at 12 right now. So if I cut at 9, that should be 3 inches up top. And then if I do again at 6, and then again at 3, rotate that. And I'm just going to line this one up with 3. Now I have that creased every 3 inches. I don't know if you can even see it on camera, but I do. So we'll go ahead and fold that over this direction. And I'm just using my Cricut scraper to really get that crease in. If you have a bone folder, that would work great. So this one I folded over. So this one I'm going to fold under. To create that accordion. And then this one goes this direction. So there's my next accordion. So now when I bring these back in, this one was attached here. And then this one will attach here and go out that way. I've been liking these icy snowy scenes, so I'm wondering if that'll be nice behind there with those trees and the reindeer. And that goes nicely with this top piece there. I actually did 5.5 by 7.5 so that I have that white border. In our example card, they had a white border going around. They had it going all the way across, but I'm thinking something else for this side, so I just have it over here. But I am going to bring in some Glacier ink and ink around the edges like I did this tag. So I have my little foam dauber here. I'm just going to run across those edges. I'm going to put adhesive right onto this piece that's glued down to the pattern paper and then glue this one on. And then I'll kind of weave them together. So this one will go right here. So then I can close this, close this, close this, close this, and then I can open them up. There we go. For the cover, I cut a 6x6 square here. So this will open up like this, and then all of these will open. So I cut a 6x6 here, and I'm picturing a pocket here to kind of tie in with the pocket we have here. So I'm bringing in my cutter, and I want it to go this direction, but I kind of want to leave a little bit. I don't want it to be a complete triangle. I want to leave a little bit here and come down this direction. I am going to leave a little more room on this side too. So I'm coming in with a pen, and I'm just going to mark like a 1/2 inch here and a 1/2 inch. It would go here. Okay. So then when I go to slice it in this, I can line up that 1/2 inch mark there and that 1/2 inch mark there. And there's our pocket. On this one, I went from corner to corner. This one, I wanted to leave a little more room, if that makes sense. So now we can go ahead and get that down. This one, I went around with some jade ink. I'm going to do that again. Go around this one with some jade. So that's this one here. I just label all of them. You can buy a big pack of these. I want to say Amazon carried those. I'm going to open this up so I don't have all that bulk trying to fight me when I adhere this down. So I'm just running my tape runner right along this side and this side. Another idea I was playing with was putting these reindeer across here, like a little scene, like they're all jumping in a row, you know, flying the sleigh. And I just think they're the cutest. So I could do a picture here, a picture here, and a picture here. Plus, when this is closed, we'll have more room for pictures on the other sides. So I think I want to add these reindeer in that strip. So what I'm thinking is adding a little bit of glacier. And I don't need to do it to these since photos will go there. I might actually do some photo mats on those so that I remember and it looks a little more finished and I don't have to do that when I print my pictures. But I'm thinking I'll add some glacier up in this area so it looks like they're in the clouds, and then maybe stamp some green trees down at the bottom just to finish those off. All right, I just have some inexpensive computer paper here, and I'm just going to rub my brush in there, kind of pounce it off, make sure it's not going to do any harsh lines for me. And then I am just going to lightly add a little bit of glacier back here. I'm taking my Frosted Forest stamp set. I really like these two pine trees. So I am going to use those as my stamps. I'm going to start by putting my reindeer down so that I know how high to put my trees. So the first one, I want this little guy. I want these two on opposite ends since they're similar, just different colors. And then these two will go in the middle, and I want the dark light, dark light. That's that's why I chose which ones go where. And I'm going to use my Barely Art Glue for this. This one is kind of going to go at an upward angle. Like he's taking them up to the roof. He is so cute. And then this one, I think, is kind of going to go kind of downward. Because when you watch the movies, they kind of go like this in the sky, right? I don't know. I've never seen them in real life. I don't know what they fly like. If you've seen them in real life and you know, let me know. This one is so cute, all wrapped in the lights. It's like Santa started taking off without him, so he hurried and got tangled in a tree or something. That's going to be my story at least. So then we have him going across like this. Okay, I think if I pull this out, there's not going to be as much bulk when I stamp on here. Bringing in another scratch piece of paper. So I have one piece of scratch paper underneath the flap and then one covering the next flap over so that I don't get trees going along. Got my ink chamois ready. I'm going to use Limeade and Jade. I'm going to do a little bit of both. And we are just going to hope for the best here. Okay, get that right up against the edge. So I'm picturing, you know, just a row of trees, different heights. Let's start with Jade because it's right here. Or, sorry, Limeade. They're both right here, but let's just start here. And I'm going to stamp this one off the page a little bit, just right there. And make sure this is in the right spot now. Okay, let's see what that looks like before we continue on to the others. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. So I'm going to do these other three off camera here. I'm just going to do the exact same thing. Mask off both sides, mask underneath so I don't get any down here, and stamp away. I got all those trees stamped, and then I cut out some photo mats, 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then I did ink around the edges. So those are going here, and then I think this one will go on this side. So we'll go ahead and get those tacked down. Glacier was double-sided with Close to My Heart, two-toned. So I am using the lighter side of Glacier. I think the light side looks good with this collection. And we could do even more on the other side, but I really don't know if it'll be seen. So there's 2 here and 2 on this side, but when you open it, I really don't know that that'll be seen because nobody's really flipping that direction. So I might leave those white for now, and then if I have more pictures from this day, I could include them here. I don't know if it's worth it or not. I don't know if it'll be seen. So we're gonna wait with that. But I am loving it, and I love those reindeer going across. So cute. I just went to the back side, and I cut an 1.5 inch strip, and I punched the holes where they need to be, and I just adhered that down quite a ways in so that it's nice and sturdy and attached. So now when I put it in the book, it's probably not going to go on day 6, but it'll look like this. So I need to decorate the back, and I can just cover this up, or if I wanted to leave one strip and, you know, so I'll decorate the back as one day, maybe day, like in this instance, it would be day 6, and then this would be day 7, open up and open this way. So by adding this extra piece here, it allows me to open and close this without having to do what I did here with those triangles. If you missed that video, go back to the playlist and check out day 5 where I show how I did that in order to open that. So I thought this was a good solution for that. It has been a few days. My husband and I went for a hike on the 7th. So I am going to add these photos to this layout we were working on. I can't really remember where I left off, honestly, so if I'm skipping around, I'm sorry. But we have this pocket here, and then I have that tag, and these both fold out, giving me ample room to add photos. So we are going to start with that, get that completed, add my photos there, and then I need to decorate here and do something on this pocket. I was thinking a large photo, but I didn't print one. I'm thinking like a 5x7 would be nice in here, and maybe cut it at a tag. So I might go back through and do one on that. But let's go ahead and add our photos here. So I can get 3 on these, 1 on this, and then I could even add some more photos here. But let's go ahead and start with these ones. So I have some photos of myself with my dog next to all of these seeds, like the flowers had all died, but those seed pods were still there. I have no idea what they were from. The sun was setting. It wasn't a beautiful sunset, but it was still nice, so I captured that. I'm thinking I could cut that down. Here's another one of myself with my dog, my husband and my dog, walking. So just a lot of good pictures. It was a beautiful day. I can't believe we don't have snow yet for it being December 7th. Since I had already cut down these photo placeholders, I cut them down to 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I do need to cut down my photos a little bit. They're 3x4s. And I'm probably going to want white between the photo and the glacier. I just like to map my photos on white. I think they brighten up that way. I got those photos trimmed down, the ones for this. So this is the first picture you're gonna see. So I'm really liking this picture of my husband. Maybe we'll put that there. And I got all the white photo mats already placed down. Now we just need to adhere these. And I did the white photo mats probably a little bit larger than I needed to, but oh well. And then this one comes out. So this one, my Dane's looking this direction. This one, she's looking that direction as well. And then this one, we're kind of walking that way. So I think they're all kind of make sense. Maybe I'll separate these two since we're kind of in the same pose-ish. One we're on the bridge, one we're not. Kind of looks like she's seeing the deer fly. I have decided I'm going to add the 7 on this, so I can go ahead and get this adhered down. I don't think I want my journaling on it, just since you'll be able to read half of it. I don't know. It might still be a good spot for journaling, but I'm going to use some Barely Art glue for the number. And we're just going to put that down right there. I like how that looks. And then over on this side, we'll add more photos. 1, 2, 3, 4 more. no, 5. 5 more. And then I have these ones of more of the nature. So these 2, I thought I could trim down into squares. Aren't those so cool? My husband took this picture. I thought I could trim these 2 down to squares for sure. Maybe even this one of myself kneeling could be a square. So if I do a row of squares here, could I fit a waterfall here with all of these pictures? I could do something like this and have it look like a couple photos are tucked in. I wonder if like that one, because if I took this too much, I'm taking away from the photo. This one doesn't have a whole lot going on down here, but this one's another nature one. So if I did these 2, I like that. And then I could put the where we were up here and maybe do some faux stitching around the edges. And then everything else will be on the inside. You missed my day 1. Go check that one out too, but I am going to do a more in-depth waterfall in today's tutorial, hopefully. Hopefully I don't mess it up this time. The last time I did a waterfall, it was my first time. I didn't know what I was doing, but I think I got it this time. Go right about there. And there. Okay. And let's go ahead and get that stamping done before I work on the waterfall. So I'm just going to open that up so it's a little more flat. I'm bringing in the design elements, and I'm thinking this one right here. So I think that'll be nice. I thought originally stitching, but let's just bring in more of that green and nature. So we're going to use jade. I got that stamped in jade. Now I'm switching over to the pennant banner, and I'm going to spell out the state park we were hiking at. Got that stamped. It's not perfect, but that's what you get when you're stamping. So now for the waterfall that we're going to do on this page. So this is 3.5 by 12 so that I have room for photo mats for my photos to go onto the waterfall. So the first photo that's going to go on is we want to do 4.5. So I'm going to mark at 4.5. Nope. And now you can see we have a short side and a long tail. The long tail is going to go behind our waterfall. I already created a band to go around. So as you can see, we are going to, and this is just a 1/2 inch band that I had wrapped around and glued. That'll go over the top of this, and then when you pull this, that'll be the waterfall. So that'll go towards the back. So from here, we need to go up every 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to set this crease at the 1/2 inch here and mark. Bring that next crease down to the 1/2 inch and mark. And I'm only going to do one more because I only have about 6 more photos left, and I can fit 2 per waterfall. So now we just need to crease these. So I'm going to fold it over and crease. Fold it over and crease. And if you have a bone folder, that would work great for this. And crease that one. So with that long tail being in the back, it'll look something like this. We have our short first photo right here. So I'm going to bring down that first 1/2 inch piece, add just a little bit of glue in there, and I'm adding it to the center because my photo mats are a little bit smaller than the width. So I'm going to have a little bit of that teal showing through there. And then I am going to bring that down, add some glue. The glue wants to come out when I don't want it to, and then it doesn't want to come out when I do. And then we can add that one. And then we'll pull the next 1/2 inch down. And add the next one. Okay, so now you can see it'll work like that. Okay, so I can put one more photo here, and we'll go ahead and do another photo mat. So I could actually add my journaling because I don't have this many more photos. Okay, we need to add our band. So the band is gonna go around both layers. So I have the long tail going in right now, which is the back layer. And then we are bringing in that first flip right there. So if we hold that and pull on that back tail, that's what we have. Now my tail isn't that long since I am doing verticals, so it's kind of hidden up under there. I'm going to add another piece of paper here in the same width. So I just have another piece of that glacier color, and I'm going to add that here so that when this is closed, I'm adding on an additional tail. Okay, so let's get that tail showing again here. And I think I'm just gonna add it on right about there. So here's our project. We're going to add that, I might trim it a little bit here. Yeah, let's go ahead and trim it off so that it fits inside the book. If I trim off about that much. There we go. Now it fits inside the book. I am going to find some pattern paper or something to go along these sides here. I've cut 1-inch pieces out of that light green, leaving a little gap up at the top and around the edges. And then I thought I could bring in some trees down here. And I'm thinking like that. I don't want them too much in the way though of this coming out, but I think this should be all right. Some adhesive to this. I don't need adhesive anywhere else. And we'll just get that centered right about there. I did put a photo mat over the... To decorate this inside piece, I'm going to hide that seam with a strip. This is like a 1/2 inch. Yeah, a 1/2 inch of that green. And we are just going to put that over that seam. And then this one I'm going to do towards the bottom so that it kind of replicates what I have going on up here. About there. So I got my waterfall put together, so I have all the photos on. I added photos to the back. Here I'm going to add my journaling, and then here are those trees. And you just got to be careful not to catch anything. It does catch up here, it seems like. I'm not sure if it's catching on the tree behind or what it's catching on back there, but it does seem to catch right about there every time. So just be cautious of where you put your embellishments and whatnot. So on this layout, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, possibly room for 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 photos. You could also add photos here. You could also add photos here or here, but I left those blank, and then I left a blank space here for my journaling. So we fit a ton of photos on this one layout. Now, if you cut layout 6, this one here, that will go on the other side of this one. So I'm just going to open this up, and I'm going to add the adhesive onto the back of this one since that one has some bulk to it. This one's pretty flat. We'll go right onto here. Okay, so when we close that, there's day 6, and then you open it up to day 7. Let me go grab my book. So here's 5 and 6, 5 and 6, and then you flip it, and you have all of these photos. That one does add quite a bit of bulk to our book, but I think it turned out super fun. I hope you guys enjoyed today's layout, and until next time, live a life worth scrapping. Bye, guys.